Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to the Indian Boxer Ring exclusive with a breeder from Italy. And this is Marcello Marino, the breeder from Boxerita Kennels in Europe. Marcello is a little bit of introduction about Marcello. So, Marcello has never lived a day in his life without boxers on his side. In fact, he actually learned to live or learned to walk with a dog, with a boxer, holding the ear of a boxer. Now and this is because his family has been breeding boxers from 1972. Now, Marcello, a little bit more about Marcello. Marcello is actually he got involved in the world of dogs, into the world of dog showing in the year 1990. And this was in terms of showing, work training, IPO, which IPO or Schutzen, which is a sport involving tracking or obedience or protection skills, or evaluates if a dog has the appropriate traits and characteristics for a good working dog. So Marcello is a trainer. He's also an official delegate for the Italian Kennel Club, and is a show supervisor and an official ENCI trainer, which is the Italian Kennel Club, and he is also a handler as well. Now, while I was talking to Marcello ahead of the interview, I was asking him if he's a regular with Box, and Marcello's response was, "There's no Box without Marcello. He's been there for all the years, starting for the last 30 years. He's never missed an Box show at all." Now, he's also well on his way to becoming a judge, and he also breeds boxers under the prefix Boxerita Kennel. It is a pleasure and an honor to host Marcello for the IBR interview knowledge series. And Marcello, we are all keen and looking forward to get your perspective about the European boxers. We are so used to the American boxers, but this, I'm sure, will be a great opportunity for us to learn and understand about European boxers to get a perspective on that. Thank you again so much for agreeing to share your time. Marcello, how are you doing?
Thank you to be here today, and I want thanks to everybody who are following us. I just want to say sorry for my not perfect English. But I think we will manage. I'm very happy to be here to help in your boxer ring and to talk about boxer. So today I'm here to telling a story, to reply to the question, to talk about boxer because boxer is our life.
True, I totally agree. I think that's what brings us all together, and it's great. I think a boxer is so much a part of your life. In fact, as I see you on the video right now, I see a
Yeah.
boxer sitting right behind you, listening to our conversation.
Yes, yes,
So
there is a boxer on the sofa. You see,
right,
because
right.
I am breeding in house and not in the kennel
Right.
because I think that the relationship with a boxer is different than the relationship with another breed because boxer is different. In Italy, we say just one metropolitan legend that the boxer is not a dog but is a boxer. No,
Hmm.
it's a funny thing that we say in Italy, but it's true because the boxer have different personality than other breed, and the relationship with the owner, with the people, is more stronger and more close than other breed.
Hmm.
So
True.
is boxer more than other breed take part of our life
Hmm.
in very strong way. This is
Hmm.
the truth. Like a drug, we say.
Hmm.
When you have one boxer, you can live without boxer in the rest of your
Very,
life.
very true. I absolutely agree. I think once you have a boxer, I think you can't live without one. You might get other breeds along the way, but you will always keep a boxer.
Yeah,
Well, at least you
yeah,
would always want to keep a boxer, and I totally agree with that. Marcello, just a few questions about you before we get into the more serious stuff. Um,
yes,
we want to know about Marcello. So I know I mentioned in the introduction
yes,
that you were born into a family of boxers, or a family that bred boxers, rather. Um,
yeah.
what are your early childhood memories growing up with a boxer breed? When you remember, your most impressionable age, what do you remember? What are your childhood memories growing up with the breed?
Yes. So, um, like you said exactly, my family started to breeding boxer in 72 because my brother was scared of the dark, so they buy a dog for this. The first idea was buy a Doberman, but they choice boxer, and 6 years more later, I born, and the first memory that I have about boxer is about one dog. That the name was Isco van der Boxerau. The breeder was Joseph Waldhammer, that probably a lot of people know. That was stay with me all the time, and another memory that I have in 85, I was very early. The memory is just a memory from baby. But I was in one show and I remember this big dog in the parking of the car, and for me was giant, like a monster, no? Because I was very young, and I have this memory. And this dog was Xeno von der Klockenbergen, just one famous dog. But the dog are part of life, so I never live 1 year of my life without a dog. So this is are the first memory that I have. And in 99 I start uh, my my way in the boxer, in the training and in the show. You showed now one old photo about Carlo Gutzen and Gaetano Carlevaro Persico. Gaetano Carlevaro Persico was the person that buy Carlo Gutzen in Germany when he was 1 years old. This dog, and this dog is based of with the Winford of Chestnut, the based of breeding in the modern breeding boxer in Europe. So was very important dog in the story, and it's the one of my model of boxer that I'm looking for since always.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marcello. Uh, now, I know it's always good, to start with that solid a background, and because were your parents your mentors? Did did you learn all that you
Eh,
know about
Yes,
boxers from your
yes.
parents, or did you listen shows?
My parents, yes, my parents, uh, and Joseph Waldhammer and Chiara Negri from Della Talpa Kennel. These are my mentors, my teacher in the boxer way.
Hmm. Did you
And
visit
if
a lot of shows?
hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
Now I won't say that this is my mentors, my teacher in the boxer way, but was one episode in my life that was in 91, 29 years ago,
Mm.
that I was in one show in Milano, to see the boxer, and I saw the for the first time Olimpio del Colle dell'Infinito. Okay. When I saw this dog, I was in shock. I was in love for this dog, and I decided that this model of dog was the model that I was looking for. I decided, oh, I want this dog. I want one dog like this. And since this day, I was following this model of dog. So My model is between Carl Gutzen and Olimpio del Cor dell'Infinito.
Okay.
This dog,
Is that the
this
dog
dog,
we have on the screen now?
this dog is my male that I have now. That he's 8 years old. It's
Hmm.
famous Boxerita. He's one inbreeding dog. Inbreeding dog because the parent of this dog are a son of my dog. So is two inbreeding on one my dog. In
Okay.
my breeding politic, I following the the inbreeding technique, but not much strong. I consider that inbreeding is one of the most important part in the boxer breeding, but must be very balanced. So, like old boxer breeder teach us,
Hmm.
when you work in inbreeding, you must go and out. So you want one time you make inbreeding and go out in outcrossing. After you come back in inbreeding and go out in outcrossing for balanced the situation. Go in inbreeding for fix the characteristic and go out for correct the characteristic.
Hmm. Got it. That is excellent. We're going to talk a bit more about inbreeding in a bit, um, but I wanted to actually understand from you, Marcello.
Yes,
Boxers all started from the same place. You know, they all started in Germany. Um,
yes,
Back in 1890s, they started with a breed.
yes,
Now, during World War II, um, boxes actually moved, or boxes were taken to different parts of the world, to America, to Italy, to Spain, to different places, right? But we all started with one standard, the breed standard.
yes,
But boxes are gone to different places, and they look very different in terms of style.
yes,
Like a European boxer looks different to an American boxer. Uh, and I wanted to actually even go back 30 years. If 30 years back or 35 years back, the boxes were still not very different. But now
yes,
the boxes look very different. Boxes in Europe look very different from boxes in America.
yes.
What are your thoughts about it? How do you think it happened?
So we must say one thing to like preview about this. Um, uh, Joseph Waldhammer and other old breeder said always that the for understand the breed we must study the story. We must learn the story of the boxer. Like you said exactly now, until 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the situation was more balanced in the world with the boxer. No, even the standard, the American standard had already some change. But anyway, the difference was very little. Was balanced the situation. I think the problem become in 90 years period, 20 years ago, when in Europe, I think the most big change happened in Europe. Because I think we arrived to one very high level, to maximum level 20 years ago, that was impossible improve more. So the our responsibility was stay in the same level, no? But I think because of some judge that start with one polemic about the boxer head, that they start to say, the boxer should have more big muzzle, no? And so for try to make classification, because when you have 30 boxer in the ring, it's the one that must win, no? So you must make the classification, and they use this excuse for make a classification. So a lot of breeder they start to breeding for try to change this thing. So they will be forced to have more big muzzle in the dog. But for have more big muzzle, you must have large teeth, not make the nose more short. No.
Mm,
But this was the big mistake in Europe that a lot of breeders start to boxer with more short nose, and in the first time was no problem because the head was very narrow, the boxer was very elegant. But we know because of experience of other breed like bulldog and other breed that more we make the short the nose, more short the
mm,
nose, and more we change the internal morphology, the full morphology of the box of the dog. No, so after the short nose, we have a short head and more wrinkles, more skin, dog without chin, and the neck is more short now. And like
mhm,
consequence, we have no good front angulation, and because of this, also the top line and the rear angulation is a
mhm,
consequence. No, so there is one very big modification of the boxer in Europe. Also because today the people have no time.
right.
They want the dog very finish very early, already in the young class. No,
Mm,
so
mhm,
now we have this problem in USA example. In the 50 years, 60 years, the American boxer is not changed so much. They are more stable,
mhm,
I think.
mhm,
And sometime I think that European boxer have more problem than USA boxer in this
mhm.
moment.
Right,
I
right.
consider UK boxer because UK boxer are very unstable in the evolution. Sometimes are more close to USA, sometimes are more close to
Mm,
European. So I don't consider UK boxer. I'm sorry, maybe someone will be offended, but this is my opinion. But I
got it.
think this is the problem of the situation today.
Mhm. Um, no, thank you. That actually gives a lot of perspective about this. Now, Marcello, we all, as breed fanciers, we all start with the map, the Munich silhouette, the head that was drawn back in 1890s, right? That is the
Yeah.
template that we use for for assessing a boxer head.
Yes.
Munich silhouette has, if you look at the Munich silhouette and you look at a dog in Europe,
Yeah.
the Munich silhouette and the dog in Europe actually looks it looks kind of different in a way.
Yeah.
Do you think the Munich silhouette is are we actually are dog? Do you feel that the dogs are moving away from the Munich silhouette, in terms, or do you think it's time for us to change the Munich silhouette? That's not how a boxer should look. So,
Yeah.
as a European boxer breeder, what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, it's the question we are talking about also in Italy since a long time in the last years. The main question is: we change the boxer or we change the standard? Like the example now, because some
Right.
people say that there is modern boxer. Some people say that the boxer is just one. We must review or breeding way. For my opinion, the German classical silhouette of the boxer, the classical standard, must be fixed, not change. We are in the wrong way to in the boxer breeding. So we must make one step back and try to breeding in different way. There is no reason for me. It's no logic. It's insane thing to change the standard or change the idea of the boxer. We must change the breeding, not the idea, because the boxer must be one and just one. Also because if you know, the FCI started to make some limitation in the some breed with short nose. So also this is one important point. There is no way about modern boxer. Modern boxer is a wrong way that the boxer take in the last time. So we
Mm,
come back. We come back in to the past, I think.
mhm. Sounds good. I want to actually spend a little bit more time on the head. Um,
Yeah.
Now, I know that European style boxers, you're very particular about the color of the eyes. The color of the eyes for European boxers, it cannot have any pigmentation. It cannot have any light colored eyes. You actually go all out for black, dark colored eyes. Is there
Mm.
any reason why you focus so much on the dark colored eyes?
The dark eyes, like I said, the standard is one of the most important characteristic for the expression of the breed. When I mean expression, I don't say the shape of the eyes, but the general expression of the face of the boxer. The dark eyes is more expressive than light eyes. Light eyes is more it's more hard, more not so friendly, no, in the feeling. But for my opinion, the color of eyes, like color of the hair, like some other little problem, are beauty defect, and I think are not so important like functionally defect. No, so if I must judge one dog that have light eyes but it's perfect, then another dog that have very black eyes but have one bad functionally defect, for me win the other dog with light eyes.
Hmm.
uh, there is no way in this because you can it's right that it's one problem that it's very simple to fix in the genetic, but it's not functionally defect because the boxer is working dog and must move in one specific way and must be functionally dog. And
Okay,
so for my opinion, it's important for the expression, but it's more important one functionally characteristic, in my
got it,
opinion.
got it. Marcello, when you are judging a dog, I know you have judged, or you are on way of becoming a judge soon.
I'm in the way to become.
Yes, yes. So now, I've heard different versions to this. Some people say a boxer is a head breed. Some people say boxer is not a head breed, but head is an important part of a boxer. But it's not just the head alone; it's also the body as well. What do you think about it?
This is my favorite because in my idea and in my way during these years, the head is the most important thing because the head in the most of the time make the characteristic of the breed. I say always that a boxer with a beautiful head and bad body is a boxer with a bad body, but a dog with a bad head and beautiful body is just a dog, it's not a boxer. So it's right that the boxer must be balanced, so have must have good head and good body, but for sure the priority have the head. Just one example, the standard it's very clear. The nose of the boxer must be up, okay, but it's very elastic the range of the boxer like standard in the standard, so we can have different type that in we can consider in the standard, no, it's very elastic the boxer like breed, but we can have one beautiful face that is different than correct head.
Mm,
Beautiful face is one thing, correct head is another thing. We
mm,
can have one beautiful face but with the nose down.
mhm,
This for me is dog that is not a boxer, must
mm,
be go out of the ring with good or something more bad. Even this dog have super body and super presence, beautiful face, but it's not boxer because one of the most important characteristic is the nose up.
Mm-hmm.
If there is no nose up,
Mm-hmm.
he's no boxer because in Europe we call it the convergence of the nose, no, of the cranial apex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the convergence of the cranial apex of the nose must be a little bit up, and the nose is we say French nose because must be turned up
Mm-hmm.
because the chin spin the lips and the nose and make the convergence. So if there is no this thing, it's no boxer.
Mm-hmm.
It's
True.
way for me. This is very important.
Okay. I also want to ask you a question about the bite, the bite and the teeth placement in a boxer,
Yes,
because you place a lot of importance in bite work with a European boxer, and
yes,
you also in America it's not you know the bite is not examined completely for a boxer except for the front, the alignment of the bite. You
yeah.
don't check the molars of a boxer in America or in India. How is it in Europe? In Europe or in Italian boxers, do you missing molars a big fault in a boxer?
Yes, because like we said before, the teeth is the most important thing about the muzzle of the boxer. The muzzle is made by bones from the teeth. It's not by the skin. And about this argument, I'm waiting one article with that I spent my last 5 years for this about the teeth of the boxer, and I will be ready in a couple of months about the problem of teeth in the boxer.
Mm,
When the nose come more short, the teeth become more narrow, and this is not good. I was lucky in my life that because I breed probably the boxer with the most large teeth in the story, because Goldie Boxerita was 80 centimeter down and 11 centimeter up.
mhm,
So I not find yet one boxer with so large teeth. But the problem is that people today not consider anymore this. So like we said before about the head, when there is no convergence, is no boxer. If there is one dog with narrow teeth, it also not a boxer because with narrow teeth there is no muzzle and there is no bite for training for attack,
mhm,
because dog the boxer we must remember that is defense dog. Okay, today it's now more like 100 years ago when they think about the boxer to create the boxer. But anyway, is a working dog. So it's one very important point. And for my opinion, mm, I prefer one large teeth with some defect than one perfect teeth but correct. Example: if there
mhm,
is a little bit deviation of the incisor, example, but the teeth is large, it's more important than to have one perfect teeth but very narrow.
okay.
Also because the one little bit deviation could be happened because of training. Example, there is
Mhm,
no we are not sure that is for sure genetic.
mhm. That actually brings an important question for me in my eyes. So you said training can bring about a deviation in a boxer's bite proportions.
Mm.
Um, the training, the bite work, does that bite work cause any deviations in the jaw alignment?
No, I
If a
you write
puppy,
me.
let's say for example,
Okay,
No,
now
let's
understand.
say you're training a puppy. Let's say you're training a puppy on bite work. Let's say the puppy is
Yeah,
6 months old.
yeah. Because of this, 2 years ago, I had another live in for with Italian people that we talk about this. Um, the problem is that the boxer is one different breed than other breed like German Shepherd or Malinois. No, so the curve we call it in Italy the curve of learning in the boxer here is different than the curve of learning of German Shepherd. Example, maybe you can see this. No,
Right.
B, BX is boxer, PT is German Shepherd. No,
Mhm.
this is the line of learning of German Shepherd. Okay, this is line of the curve of learning of boxer.
Mhm.
Okay, time and information. So you can understand that the development of boxer is
Mhm.
also about character is more slow in the time. But it's also individual. So we must judge individually every single subject. So if we consider that one dog is more slow in the head in the development, we must wait. So there is no a rule. We must judge the dog that we have in front of us, but we must consider that the boxer is slow in development. So it's important to take the right time for not make too much fast many things.
Got it. Um, my next question to you, Marcello, is about the temperament. It's about what happens in the head of a dog, a boxer. Now,
Yeah,
since you train the dog for beauty and work, right? It's not just one, it's two. It's you have to work and you also have to have the beauty as well. Um,
yeah,
Now the way you do the the work with boxers is guarding, is protection work, is a lot of schutzen type of work, right? So the
yeah,
dogs in Europe, they are
yeah,
the temperament is very different. The temperament between an American boxer, which is
yeah,
only shown not a lot of schutzen work, not a lot of bite work, but whereas a European dog does show and the bite work as well, right? Now
yeah,
my question is this: over many years in North America, boxers have become more and more docile. They become very friendly. They're perceived to be very good dogs, very safe dogs to keep. But
yeah,
whereas the dogs in Europe, they have that increased prey drive, right? They have that increased prey drive. Like for example, sparring, two dogs are sparred against each other, so they have the increased prey drive. Does it make it easier? Does it make it a breed in Europe, the boxers only for a select few people, or does it make it a breed? Is it not reducing the popularity of the breed amongst people? It's only a few people that can keep the dog because they cannot manage the dog because the dog has a lot of prey drive.
yeah. So we must consider the characteristics of the boxer because not always are very clear for the people. The temperament of the boxer must be at medium level. The boxer is one dog with medium level temperament because it's defense dog, and a defense dog can't have high temperament because if the reaction are too much fast, the dog can't decide if what he's doing is right or not. Okay, so for one guardian dog, it's good to have high temperament because he must make signal if there is one problem. No, okay, but not all people that we meet when we are working with the boxer are bad people that dog must attack. Okay, just it's one example. The characteristic of the boxer is that he must strong in the head. Okay, and one old working judge in Italy say from German people that teach him. This German people was Otto Donner, one of the most important German people, German boxer people in the story. The boxer is the dog that think. Okay, boxer is the dog that think. So what means is that the dog take a little bit time for do what he want. It's not fast reaction. So in Europe, we are still balanced in this. What mean? Mean that we have a good temperament, no good, the right temperament for the show and right temperament for working and right temperament for the people. It's very balanced dog in this.
Hmm.
About American boxer, honestly, I know more beauty than character situation in USA. But from what a friend say to me, they say that the working idea is not very uh, good in USA. Not many people work with the boxer, so probably there is more orientation for to be friendly with people
Hmm.
without consider also the working characteristic. But
Hmm.
the main thing is the temperament must be medium level, because in the boxer when the temperament is too much height, it's
Hmm.
probably that become a nervous dog, and the nervous dog is very bad situation for the
True.
boxer.
True. So now, since the temperament of a dog is you breed for temperament, um, and a minimum temperament is required in a boxer. Uh,
Absolutely.
Now, do you think that obedience training or basic obedience training is extremely important for Euro style boxers?
No, I think the obedience training is depend what you mean. If you mean for to be obedient for the city life, okay, but
Yes.
yes, this is important because the dog it's more and more part of the people in the in the family in the city. But I think that for the boxer, the most important thing is the relationship with the owner. If the
Hmm.
relationship is the right relationship, the boxer do everything. Okay. Example in many other breed when they are working with the boxer with the other breed, maybe they make some strong training, they make sometime not good friendly technique, no. But if you do this with the boxer, the boxer get offended for this, and you broke a relationship, and the dog do anything more with
Hmm.
you.
True.
So the first step is make strong relationship with your dog.
Hmm. True. Agreed. Absolutely. Um, I want to actually ask you about shows. I want to ask you about the beauty shows, right? Not so
Yeah.
much of the Schutzen, but about beauty shows, right? The confirmation shows, rather. Now, for the benefit of those viewers, and myself included, we are so used to the FCI or the AKC shows, right? The type of the shows that it is held, the way the dogs are judged. Could you share
Yeah.
the primary differences or similarities between Atterbox shows and FCI AKU shows? What are the differences or similarities?
Uh, fortunately, in Europe, most of the time, special judge, I mean, the judge specialist of the boxer, are judging also FCI show. So in Europe, there is no so this big difference between FCI exposition or Atibox. The difference is between is about the number. In example, in one World Dog Show FCI in Europe, you have 100 dog. In the Atibox in Italy was 1,000 dog. Example.
Mm-hmm.
But we can also say that not all 1,000 dogs are high quality. I think the medium number of the entry in Atibox is between 600 and 700 dog. Okay, and I think the 30% is the high quality. The other are medium or down level, but it's only about number. And this is about the judgment.
Mm-hmm.
About the rule is different because in the FCI show there are different rule. Because example, there is not admit the double handling,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and the dog must stay away the one from other. But in the European show, example in Atibox, it's usually that you put a dog in the front, no, two dogs in the front to fight.
Mm-hmm.
In FCI competition, we can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's correct, not correct. I don't know. It's the part of the boxer, the boxer style. So
Mm-hmm.
it's right that maybe when the dog is too much straight, it's not good to judge because it's not in natural position. But
Mm-hmm.
it's also good for see the temperament. So the good part of this is that you can have a dog very straight, very strong in the fight position, and you can judge also the dog in natural position in the Atibox show. In
Got
the
it.
FCI show, you are limited to make a natural position, and you can see the temperament of the dog.
Got it.
And usually in the FCI show in Europe, the ring, the place for the boxer are all the time small because
Mm-hmm.
they are racist with the boxer, and they give us all the time a little place, and for a run is all the time difficult. This is
Got it.
very unfriendly thing by FCC for the boxer.
Got it.
If you see German Shepherd ring is 1 kilometer of ring, boxer
Mm-hmm.
10 meters.
Mm-hmm. Now, question for you. Now, this is this is something I always wanted to ask. I've seen some shows on the internet with German shepherds. German shepherds, they have the double handling. They
Yes.
they actually make them run at least 4, 5, 6 rounds because it's in essence a German shepherd it's constructed to run
Yeah.
like that. Is it fair to say that a boxer is also to be made to run like that 4, 5, 6 rounds? What are you looking for in a boxer?
It's another long fight since many time in Europe about this because we must consider the body construction. The boxer is square boxer, no? The German Shepherd is not square boxer. The metacarp of the boxer, it's right, is no flex. The metacarp of German Shepherd, it's flex. Okay, and the rear angulation of the German Shepherd are more close than the boxer. Okay, this not mean that the boxer can't run for 10 time for 10 kilometers like German Shepherd, but is different way to move. So the German Shepherd is probably more fast and more dynamic in something, no. And you can see when you see the run the German Shepherd, they put also the head down. Okay, the boxer have different way to move, is not so fast, and the head is more height, with he move with more class, more elegance. But
Right.
because of square body, can't move at the same speed than German Shepherd. If we see that one boxer move very fast, probably it's because it's not square but more long. So it's a question about body morphology and all. So, okay, when you see the boxer that move very fast, it's beautiful for the show, but we must judge more deep because for sure there is something that it's not going in the right way for the boxer.
Mhm. Right. Right. I want to actually also ask about the the stacking of dogs with the ATTBox shows, the way the
Yeah.
dogs are stacked, right? Um, the dogs are placed one against each other. You know, the sparring stack, right? Now, I know you're working to become a judge, and you would have looked at it both as a handler as well as a judge.
Yeah.
Does it not make it difficult? You know, I'll give you an example. So when a dog is sparring, it's leaning heavily on the front. The front angles show well, but what happens is the hind angles show very straight. The hind angles don't have any angulation, right? Uh, does it is it not difficult for a judge to get a view about the angles of the hindquarters, the hocks, the hindquarters?
Because of this, we judge before the boxer alone and after all together. Before you judge the dog alone, because in Europe there is two parts of judgment. The dog enter in the ring and the judge look all dog together to make idea of the group of the boxer of the level. After this, take one by one alone in the center of the ring and judge the dog, and after this come back all inside again the excellent, of course the very good not, and he started to make selection and leave 4, 6, 7, 10 dog in the hand and start to run together and judge the different situation. So for sure, the fighting dog too much close, it's very difficult because they are too much straight. The face is alterated by because of aggressivity. So it's not a good way. It's just to see temperament and for a little bit show. But it's important to be careful because if the dog are too much close, they can bite and can be also the problem.
True,
So I can say it's more part of the show than for the judgment. But because the we judge before the dog alone, we can do this.
right, right, right. I actually wanted to move on to my next question here. Um, it's actually about the it's actually about some of the attributes that I see with European boxers. Before we go into that, um,
Mm.
there was a time when tail docking was allowed. Now, tail docking has been banned. Now you have
Mm.
boxers with tails.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages or some of the disadvantages that you see with boxers with tails?
Uh, we can say,
Because your dogs are working dogs, right? A working dog with a tail, a boxer
yeah,
tail sometimes can actually hurt you. It can hurt the dog, another dog. It can hurt you. It can
yeah.
open the dog to injury as well. So, how important is a tail in terms of, you know, how is it? Is it a lot of adjustment that you had to do? Is it very difficult to have a boxer with a tail which is doing the working?
No, I can say like preview that I prefer cropped dog. In my in my in my heart there is cropped boxer, but anyway, for sure the tail is at help for the dog because balanced the movement in the run. For sure, this is obviously that the tail help. But I think the only problem of the tail is when the dog is in the house that it's moving continuously and could be a problem this, but not for show, not for training. For sure, if there is one problem in the rear angulation on in the top line, it's more evident with the tail than with crop dog. This is evident. With
Right.
the crop dog, you can save situations some time.
Mhm.
With the tail, not. If there is one problem, you see the problem.
Okay.
The tail, not lie. We say in Italy.
Got it. And also, I've heard from a good friend in the states who breeds boxers with tails or who has boxers with tails that when they bleed, it doesn't stop. the tail bleeding, to control the bleeding, or to get them, because they keep wagging the tail, it's very difficult for that injury to heal because they keep wagging the tail, or it's very difficult that way. Have you noticed that?
No, I think in about me. I speak about me.
Hmm.
For me, the tail it's just uh, mental problem because I love cropped dog. But about this, after this, the tail for me is no problem. There is no one bad thing about tail that I
Hmm.
can consider.
Okay.
So just is we can say that it's another thing that we must consider in the breeding.
Okay.
So if there is broken tail, curved tail, this is a problem, but a problem for the breeding.
Hmm.
After this, for me, I don't consider the tail one problem.
Got it. Got it. Um, Now, I'm going to actually ask you a question just to get your perspective on what you consider to be most important in boxers. Do you consider health testing to be the most important, or do you consider, or sorry, let me start again. Health
I understand.
testing, health testing, cancer, longevity, breed type. What is most important for you?
Like I said about head and the body. mm, I can say the same. If I have one dog with character and very healthy, but is not a boxer, it's just a dog. So for me are at the same level the three things. But when I must select one dog for breeding, no, before I look the beauty. Okay, the dog must be a boxer because in my politic there is no beauty breeding or working breeding. There is boxer breeding, and boxer must be beauty, working, and healthy dog.
Hmm.
Okay, so at the same level. So when I'm looking for one boxer, I consider the beauty because I look what boxer I like. I look that this dog must be healthy and must be with character. This is general idea. After this, I this is not very
Hmm.
right politic for the breeding because I always think that I breeding myself with my dog, and when I go out, I for my breeding, I go out to take what I need. I never was to take what I liked. Was my policy.
Hmm.
What I need. So probably one time I need the example. I make one example, large teeth. So I can make some compromise in beauty if the dog just have large teeth. But anyway, must be with character and healthy. Okay. If I have one female with super character, I can make some compromise with character. Okay. Um because Frau Stockman teach
Hmm.
us that the first rule in the boxer breeding is that the boxer is born like a compromise in everything.
Hmm.
Okay. Also about the healthy, I don't want to say that the dog must be not healthy, but sometimes we can take some compromise. Example, um, leaving the argument about the heart because for me the heart must be free all the time. There is no this the argument about this. The heart must be free. Stop. About dysplasia, we know that there is one genetic part and one about lifestyle part. We can say no. 30% is genetic and 70% is about how the dog growing. No, this
Right.
is it's medical constatation. We know this since long time. So I can consider to who's also one C level of dysplasia because maybe I have one A, and I can make this compromise. Example, no,
Right.
it's not a rule for me. A must be A, or if the dog is B, I not use this dog.
Mm,
I take my evaluation and I decide. For sure, I not use one not healthy dog, but
mm,
we can be there is a little bit more big range in this that we can consider. Example, the spondylosis is one problem of the breed. Probably we will never solve the spondylosis problem because the body of the boxer it's square body, and to have more short body is physiologic that the spondylosis problem become. So most of the dog that are free at a young age
mhm.
find the problem in old age. So we must, like to say, consider all the time the problem, take away the problem, but probably we will never solve this problem.
Right.
So the rule is the compromise, but the dog must be boxer, healthy, and with character
Right.
at,
True.
at the same level.
Right. Agree. Um, I want to actually ask you about the loose jacket, right? Like for example, you talked about loose skin, right? The loose skin in
Yeah.
European boxers, right?
Yes.
Um, I want to actually ask you this question: Is why do you think? So, how do you think loose skin um, is basically you know is something which it's very hard, a loose skin or long coat in a boxer, like it's not a short coat but long coat in a boxer. How serious a fault do you think it is in a boxer?
Okay, this is a problem. It's a very big problem in the European boxer, but this is just a consequence of the situation of the boxer. I try to explain me better. It's not one priority. It's like a beauty defect, but the skin problem it's a consequence of morphology. I mean that if you have a correct boxer with the long right head, the proportion of the muzzle, with the proportion of the body, it's difficult that you have skin problem. But with the problem of short head, short neck, short nose, they are coming from the past, the bulldog, the bulldog genetic, the bulldog problem. So the skin. So I think it's one problem, but it's just a consequence of the style of the European boxer. If we come back in the right way, we will solve this automatically. This problem.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Um, Now I want to actually ask you the next question is actually about the American boxers. Do you watch American shows? Do you watch American shows? Do you do watch them? Um,
Yeah.
what are some of the attributes that you like in American style boxers, and what are some of the attributes you like in European style boxers? And you're just being a judge. Marcello is not in Italy right now. Marcello is looking at Italy and he's looking at America. And you are just a pure boxer lover. That's it. Boxer lover at heart. What do you like about an American style boxer and the European style boxer?
So a lot of European people hate me for my consideration about this because I think that like we say in Italy, the reason stay in the middle. No, I think the right boxer in this moment stay in the middle from European and USA style. About I start with European. I don't like the like I said before the situation of European dog that there are a lot of skin, short nose, short head, short neck. It's I say sometime to joke pork type, bulldog type. No, this is a problem with the boxer in Europe. in what I like in USA boxer is that they are very elegant. They are very dry with the skin. The neck is long. The head is long because we must remember that the head of the boxer must be 3 times in the tail of the boxer. Example: if one male is 63 centimeter, the head must be 21 centimeter, 3 times in the height must stay. And this is in USA boxer, but it's not anymore in European boxer. Okay. I like the top line. I like the rear angulation. The rear angulation in the USA boxer are fantastic, for my opinion. No, but the things that I don't like, it's the skull because they are very narrow, but they are sometimes they are a little bit flat. In Europe are too much convex,
Mm-hmm.
too much convex because they understanding between the skull and the jump from frontal nose. That is very important in boxer. One
Mm-hmm.
of the most important thing is the frontal nose jump and not the skull. The skull, like said, the standard is just a little bit convex, but
Mm-hmm.
must be high. The frontal nose jump, and this is one thing that the USA boxer miss.
Mm-hmm.
And one other important one, very important thing that I don't like in USA boxer because I think it's wrong description in the standard in the American standard in is the shape of the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
The American standard, if I'm not wrong, they say that must be like a lemon, no
Right.
lemon style, no, but
Right.
it's not. It's not right. This is not the shape of the eyes of the boxer. It's
Mm-hmm.
totally wrong, and the eyes of the boxer is one of the most important part. In Europe, the position of the eyes it's subfrontal, medium position. In the American boxer are too much frontal
Mm-hmm.
sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
and with this shape that they say like lemon, I say like China's, but it's not. This is disturb me a lot.
Okay.
But I think, like I said to you, in another side, for me, the combination with between European and USA style for the future could be the way to save the breed, for my opinion.
Got it.
This is my this is my opinion. I don't know if most of the part must be from Europe than USA or different most of USA and Europe, but I think could be should be important make a plan to mix the two style for recovery the old boxer style. This is my
Right.
opinion.
Right. Now that's actually my next question. Thanks for that. I was going to ask you that question. Um, would you? And again, this happens a lot in India. So I want to give you a little bit of a story. Um, when I was growing, when I was starting out with boxers, I looked at the European dog and I looked at the
Okay.
American dog. European dog, American dog. I like both the dogs, and I want to breed something, mixing both of them together. And I want to breed an American dog. I want to breed a boxer with an American dog in body, but a European dog in head. I want to mix them both together. How
Yeah.
easy or difficult is it to blend an American dog and a European dog, which is totally different in style? They're very different in style.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any thoughts about that? About blending a present day American dog and a present day European style dog? Do you think it's even a good idea to do that?
Yes, in this moment, I can say to you what is in the specific plan, what is the better way to make this. Example, if it's more easy, take one male from USA and use with this or female, or take a USA female and use with or male to try to make experiment. No, I don't know yet what is the right way, but I think it's one way that must make, because we must try to do this. I think. I think I don't know the situation of the pedigree in the USA, if there is inbreeding or they are all out crossing dog, because this is another important step, because to preserve some characteristic is important to have inbreeding dog, no? But it's important also outcrossing for to be more opportunity to the puppies to take more from both side. No, example: if I have one female in inbreeding, in strong in inbreeding, and I use one USA boxer, probably the result will be more from Europe than USA.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's right or not? We don't know. We don't know this. Probably the first step, I think, could be correct in outcrossing
Mhm.
to for leave the good look to have one puppy that it's uh, the correct politic mix. You
Mhm.
understand me?
Mhm.
Because if it's one inbreeding dog, probably the puppies are more close to one side or another side.
Right.
Okay. In totally outcrossing, I think is the best way to have the compromise result, and maybe after going inbreeding to recovery more one part or more another part. I think
Mhm.
probably if I should make this, I will make this in outcrossing in the first step and fix some characteristic in inbreeding in second step. Probably this is my idea, but just idea, because maybe I'm wrong.
Well, only when you try it can you tell, right?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
without
absolutely.
trying, there's no, we don't know if it's right or wrong. But I do want to actually take this opportunity, Marcella, to show some of your dogs for the
Yes.
viewers. And I'm going to actually share it on the screen. As you can tell, there's a lot of dogs. I'm going to actually start with, I'm going to start with this one here.
This
Uh,
is like we said, my mail that I have in my house now, that he have 8 years old. Is inbreeding dog, Choo Choo. Is
okay.
grandson of the same dog from both side. This is my Nini di Boxerita. This is female. Win a lot of show, but the most important win Atibox 2011 in Italy in baby class. Was best baby in the class, was 50 babies, and he make best baby in the Atibox 2011. This is my female that I have now. Is she is working like specific work, because the father is Satellite Van Helsing, and the mother is Rebecca di Boxerita, and the mother is one inbreeding dog, Choo Choo, and the father is a totally outcrossing dog. So it's example of inbreeding and outcrossing after. This female was in show many time, and just one time in her life was out of final, but she's international champion and make all the time one or first classic position in the show. Just one time four position, I think, but other time win or second place. She is also her in another photo.
I've got actually a video of your dogs that
Yes.
I want to actually play.
This is Goldie Boxerita. Is the dog that is considered in most of part of the world like one of the best head in the story in the breed, because he was a perfect model of the head.
So that is, thank you so much for all that information, Marcello. I could go on and on, ask you more questions, and I should probably invite you to come back again and do another interview
Oh,
with
it's
us.
a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to actually ask you. I want to end this interview with this question today. What is your word of advice to newcomers and fanciers? Now, and this is specifically true because you have people, friends on Facebook all over the world who
Yes.
write to you, who ask you questions about, about the breed, who ask you questions about European style dogs, American style dogs. Do you
Yes.
have what is your word of advice to somebody who is reaching out to you?
The advice that
Your 30 years of experience, if you had to actually give them, your learnings in advice, what would that be?
yeah, I think the first step in the breeding, in the passion of the boxer, in everything we want to do, like said to me my teacher, is decide and is the fix in our heart in our mind one model to follow. This is the most important thing, because other things are just details that help our way or our journey in the boxer. But the most important thing is the model that we have in our mind. We must study the story, because the learn the story is one important step, and to be open in the mind and not look just at the dog from 5 years ago, but also maybe from 30, 40 years ago, and decide one model to follow, and must be the model of our life, not change. I have one model and I follow this model for entire of my life. Probably I not get this model never, but this is my way, my focus, my challenge. No, this is the most important thing, to have one model to follow. After the working, the beauty, the health exam, the breeding program is are just detail. We must follow one model and following this model. This is the most important thing, and this is what I say all the time to the people. Probably can be just one dog or a mix to some dog. No, I say all the time that it's more easy to say that our model could be five male and five female. No, and we make mix, and this is our model of the boxer. No, but this is the most important thing. Follow one model.
Hmm.
After, other things are just detail.
Hmm. True. Very, very well said. I think it's very important. I think what you've said about having a model in your head on the type of boxer that you want to breed, work in that direction, and then be patient, and you will, if you follow your heart and follow that model, you will like breed something close to that, or you will breed that just that. That's very extremely important. Yes, I totally agree.
Also, also, also because the most important consideration that we can get from the people is that I have my identity. We must have our identity. Our dog must be the reflection of us. Okay, my dog are my dog. I see one dog. This is dog of Marcello. This is dog of Michele. This is dog of Marco.
Mhm.
The identity of the breeding. One
Right,
model, identity. Our
right.
dog be recognized far 1 kilometers.
Hmm.
Just no other dog like many others. One of the most terrible and bad thing in the boxer breeding, I think, is to be anonymous.
Right. Let your dogs do the talking, not you. Let the dogs do the talking. I totally understand. Yeah. Yeah.
This is
Well,
the most important advice that I can say to the people
wonderful.
to give.
Marcello, it was a pleasure for me, and it was a lot of learning for me. I am much further ahead than what I was when I started this interview with you. Thank you so much for your time and for sharing your knowledge and your journey with boxers.
For this interview. And if you want to make again, you are welcome. I will be happy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marcello. Have yourself a wonderful day. And again, for those ones that have tuned in, this information is going to be available on YouTube. And for you to watch this interview, if you want to watch it again many times over, you can do so. And I will also take Marcello's invite to or offer to accept him for another interview. That is also going to be scheduled sometime soon. So in the meantime, if you have any questions or your comments, please feel free to put that in the comments, and Marcello will be more than happy to answer your questions about
Yeah,
the recounts. Yeah,
will be available to every question, and I'm here just for all of you. And
wonderful,
thank you everybody for to be here today to listen us talking about boxer.
wonderful. Thank you so much again, Marcello. Have yourself a great day, sir.
You have a great day. Bye
All right,
bye.
all right, bye.